Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Miles and Goggles Show. I'm your host, Miles. Across my screen, we've got my co-host, Goggles. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm ready to have a good episode 12 today.
Yeah, we've got definitely
Excited.
some good topics to talk about around the league, some new coaching moves, some injuries, some hot teams, some cold teams. Um, Really all types of stuff to talk about. So, Goglin, what would you like to talk about first?
I say we talk about the most recent news, and that is the new signing of Jacque Vaughn for the Nets.
Yeah, well, aka the promotion, basically, because he's been their assistant for a while, for even when Kenny Atkinson was still in Brooklyn. But just getting promoted to the head coaching job after it seemed like it was set in stone that Ime Udoka was going to be their coach. What do you
Yeah.
think about Jacque Vaughn?
I think it was the good move for them. I don't think Ime was the right move because of just all the stuff that's happened with him, obviously, and all the stuff happening with who was going to talk about in a little bit, Kyrie. So I think it's just a safe move, and I think he knows the team, so it's someone that they can count on to just. He already knows their sets and everything, or the sets that they like running, and I think he's just gonna kind of be like Steve Nash, but hopefully a little bit better.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to get to the players a little bit more because, like, there were reports today that like Kyrie Irving some games would look away from Steve Nash on like 10 different play calls and run something else during a game.
Well, that's also because nobody knows what Kyrie's gonna do ever.
Yes, that's very true as well. But Steve Nash was just not getting to the players, and that's
Yeah,
very evident throughout his time there. And Jacque Vaughn, someone who has been a head coach before, doesn't mean he's been a very successful head coach. Mainly with the Orlando Magic, but we'll see what happens. I mean, Brooklyn is currently 4-7. I mean, they've had a rough start to the season, but maybe this can help them turn it around a little bit. I'm not totally sure.
yeah. They also need they can't just all be Kevin Durant. It's basically Kevin Durant, Nick Claxton, and Cam Thomas right now.
Yeah, and Cam
in
Thomas, they
Brooklyn.
didn't start playing him until like just this week.
And he's been playing good.
Crazy stat I saw today. Did you know that Nick Claxton is leading the league in dunks?
Really?
Like total dunks. I'm pretty sure he leads the league in dunks. I saw that stat.
And I think doesn't Anthony Edwards have like 0 so
Yeah,
far?
yeah, he just got like one or something. Um, but yeah, Brooklyn it's just a wonky situation there, man. Like something I'm wondering is if this continues and they continue to struggle with the energy and stuff, do you think it's realistic that Durant could once again request a trade in like
I'm all for
February?
it. I am all for that. I am all for what is happening right now because that's just more picks for my team.
Oh well,
Yeah,
yeah, of course.
that's better pick. What if we
And
get 1 and 2?
Kevin Durant is still playing fantastic on both
Oh,
ends.
he's playing amazing. He's averaging 30, is it 31 or 32? I haven't checked in
31
all
points,
day.
2 blocks per game.
Defensive player of the year, Rudy could never.
Uh,
Rudy does.
but yeah, just Brooklyn, just a rough situation. And do you want to talk about the Kyrie Irving situation at all? What do you think? I mean,
I
basically,
mean,
if for those who have been living under a rock, Kyrie Irving has been suspended by the Brooklyn Nets for
a promotion he did. We'll say that.
yes, yeah,
That's about all we should go into.
yes.
But he's suspended. Is it indefinitely or is it just 5 games
I think
for
that
now?
he's suspended until he completes all of those tasks that the Nets gave him to complete.
And it's gonna be interesting to see if he does those or if he just I don't know, doesn't play and then hopes he can go somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen reports that have said that he's been productive, but
Yeah,
who
I
knows? You never know with Kyrie, man. You never
yeah,
know.
I saw a report that he had a meeting with Adam Silver on Tuesday and they said it was a good meeting. So never know.
You never know. Um, let's go from one of the, I guess, downers so far this season to one of the real surprises after a 3-game winning streak versus the 2 LA teams. We've got the Utah Jazz improving to 9-3, and they are the #1 seed in the Western Conference, which is
Seems like we're seeing
incredible.
who won the trade. The Donovan
Oh
Mitchell
yeah.
and Rudy Gobert trade.
Oh, the Rudy Gobert trade?
Well, I mean, that was a win from the beginning. Why would anyone trade 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert?
Well, especially with the way Minnesota has played to start the season. But Utah, it's it's just crazy. I mean,
They're in a fantastic position right now.
yeah, we've talked about them just briefly a little bit, and we were like, "Oh, this seems a little fluky or stuff." But like they're playing really well offensively and they're competing defensively, and they have a lot of really solid pieces. Um, do you think that this is something that could be sustainable? Obviously, I don't know if #1 seed is that realistic for this team, but a
I
playoff
mean,
team, a playing team, it's hard to see with this team when you still look at the roster on paper because
yeah.
the main jump has been Lowry Markkanen.
I
Um,
think it could be sustained. It just depends. Like, if this team keeps playing together as a team, and if one person doesn't try to go rogue and just like go crazy every night, I mean, I think they can keep it up, and I think they can be probably the most surprising team in NBA history and make the playoffs as like a top 3 seed if
well,
they keep it up how they're playing, obviously.
should they though? Do you think they should tank?
Um, I mean, they have Cleveland. Do they have Cleveland's pick this year?
I mean, they'll have Cleveland's and Minnesota's, but both of those picks won't be like lottery picks.
Never know with Minnesota with their stupid center.
Well, either way, that's not going to be like a top 10,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, if the team plays well and like I'd say keep going for it, but maybe play like Walker Kessler more and like all those even younger guys more and try to develop them as your like franchise pieces instead of maybe getting them from the draft.
Yeah,
Unless you want to go out and get like Victor, which
yeah.
is not going to happen because Rockets are going to have 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Thanks to Brooklyn.
But I kind of want to highlight Markkanen a little bit more because he's played so well. I think he right now is the clear front runner for most improved player.
And on
He's looked like a completely different player so far this season. He's putting up 22 points, 9 rebounds a game, and the crazy thing is he's playing, I guess, the best of his career right now statistically, but the 3 ball has not fallen consistently for him, which it's kind of crazy because, throughout his career, he's known as one of the best stretch bigs in the league, and his shot has not fallen to start, which means throughout the season, his numbers could get even better once that 3-point shot starts to go in consistently.
yeah, and I'm on the MVP award tracker on Basketball Reference. He's currently at number 9, which is crazy.
That is crazy. But I mean, #1 seed, and he's been their best player. I mean,
Yeah, they have Giroux up here too.
yeah, you gotta
And I
have
mean,
some Bucks on here.
I feel like we got to talk about Luka really quick,
Yeah,
just because
let's talk about Luka. Yeah, a little bit.
he is the spawn of the greatest human being of all time. I don't even know who that is, but he's averaging 36, 8 and 8. That's ridiculous.
That's sick.
And I mean, he's shooting 64% from the field. Wait, no.
65 on twos.
Oh, yeah, wait. See. His
Because he's
3-point,
only
and he's
shooting.
not even like shooting the 3 ball well.
No, he's not.
Think about like he could improve even more.
Yeah, if he gets the 3 to fall, I mean,
So with that being said, if he stays at 36 points per game, could he win most improved player?
most improved. See, this is
Think-
what I
Think
this is-
about that. I mean,
this is the thing with that. I see what you're saying. The same thing. I remember the same conversation came up when Curry, with his unanimous MVP the second season, the 73-win season, he improved so much from the previous year, and people are like, "Oh, should he win most improved?" But it's like, yes, he's improved, but that's not what the award is really meant for. It's kind of meant for that, like, that
like
breakout.
that Jordan Poole or like that Darius
It's
Garland.
meant for that breakout, unexpected jump.
Yeah.
Other than last season when Ja Morant won it, which I'm still not very happy about because for that reason, Luka might have a chance at most improved because it's like
Exactly.
you just never know. But I personally wouldn't put him in conversation. I think it's definitely marketed.
Yeah, this MVP tracker is looking kind of weird because they still like they have Jokic up here, which I mean it makes sense because he's averaging 20, 10, and 9, but also like they have him at 4. And I think Tatum should be ahead of him. I think Steph, actually no, Steph shouldn't
No, the Warriors.
necessarily be
No, the
ahead.
Warriors shouldn't. Yeah.
Lowry maybe should be ahead of him. Best team in the league.
Well, best team in the West.
Yeah.
Still, they still got to catch Milwaukee and Cleveland, man.
They got D Mitch up here at 3 as well. He's
Mitchell,
playing out of his mind. And I love
Mitchell
it.
at 3. Yeah, the Cavs, man. Besides that one just annoying loss to the Clippers on Monday, they've played fantastic so far.
It feels like
We've
those
talked about the Cavs a lot. Team that we haven't really talked about enough, I don't think, is the Bucks.
Yeah, they Drew and Giannis just playing well. Brooke Lopez, Splash Mountain's been playing well.
It's been fantastic. I mean, Milwaukee, it's been so easy for them, like 10 games in. They've had a really easy schedule, and they've won their first 9 games. They just got killed by the Hawks to lose their first game. But it's like you gotta give the Bucks credit for just steamrolling the easy part of their schedule to start things off, because that's what championship teams do.
Yeah, now we just have to see what they do when they play when they play the tough teams.
Yeah, we'll see where
Without Chris Middleton.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm actually curious what their upcoming schedule.
Yeah, when do they come to Cleveland? When do they come/play Cleveland next? Because I think that's going to be their real test.
So let's see. So tonight they play the Thunder, then Friday they play the Spurs, and then oh gosh, they have this is what I call their first like major long stretch of the season where they'll be tested. They play the Hawks on Monday, who they just lost to.
Are young?
Then Cleveland, then Philly, Portland, Chicago, Cleveland again, and Dallas. That's 7 straight tough games.
I'd say 6.
Who do you?
I don't think Philly's going to be tough for them.
Oh, true. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Joel Embiid is back, so
but also Drew's going to take Maxey out of that game, I think.
Yeah.
I think Giannis can cover Embiid enough.
Well, regardless, that's still 7 playoff teams.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And then they get the Knicks, Lakers, Hornets, Magic, Kings, Rockets. They get another.
They're playing good right now. I'm not going to count the Knicks out.
Yeah, Knicks have been solid.
I think Brunson and Randall are playing really well together.
You know what's funny? The Knicks are the perfect like simulation team because they're 5-5. What I saw, I need to find.
I just saw something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're like.
Did you see the stat I'm talking about?
Yeah, they're like just mid. Like they're mid at everything.
Yeah, I need
the middle of the pack. They're like 15th in, I think, offensive rating as well. I think that's what it was. Something like that.
Okay. As I look this up, because now this is gonna kill me. What would you like to talk about next?
Let's talk about the future 6th man of the year from the Lakers.
Russell Westbrook. Yeah, we should talk about Russell Westbrook a little bit. He has been really fantastic since coming off the bench.
He's been great. I mean, I think the best decision that Lakers team could have had. I mean, they're still not winning games, but that's just because, like, I think they could have won. Did they just play the Jazz? I think they could have beat the Jazz maybe if Lonnie Walker.
They just got killed by the Jazz.
Yeah.
When I was researching for this video to try to talk about the Jazz, I watched that Jazz Lakers game, and the Lakers defense is just horrendous.
Yeah, and I think because Anthony Davis is not playing good defense this year, and he's supposed to be that anchor for that team, just not carrying them per se, but like lifting them up and making them all play better, kind of like LeBron in general in a way.
Yeah. But yeah, looking at Westbrook, since coming off the bench, in his 6 games coming off the bench, he's averaging 19, 5, and 7 with 51, 48, 79 shooting splits. I mean,
he has been like every single game I look at the stats, he's shooting like not. I'm not gonna say lights out, but kind of lights out from three.
He's been on fire. I mean, his last 3 games, I wanna say, yeah, 3 games, he's shooting 61.5% from 3, and he's missed 1 free throw.
And the thing about that is, I think he's finally got that confidence back.
Yeah, for sure, off the bench.
That's what he thrives off of more than I think everyone or most people in the NBA is he like you watched it with the Thunder in his MVP season. He was electric every night, and I think we didn't see that necessarily at the beginning of the season when he was starting, or even last season with the Lakers. Is just he went out there and he didn't look like he was enjoying it, but now he looks like he's enjoying it again, and he's confident.
Now, hopefully, the Lakers can start to win some games because, like, I mean, these 3 games, the Jazz and the 2 Jazz games, they just both games, they just didn't have effort. And then the Cleveland game, they just the beginning of the 3rd and 4th quarters, they just didn't come out with energy. What they came out with terrific energy in that game, but just couldn't sustain it. I found the Knicks thing though. They're 5-5 with a 0.0 point differential, 16th in offense, 16th in defense, 15th in their strength of schedule, and they've played 5 home games and 5 road games, and they're 1-1 in overtime. They're the definition of a mid-team.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And the thing I have a ton of notes on the Knicks.
Knicks, all right,
They
you want to
also
talk about them a little bit?
we'll talk about them a little bit. Like obviously Julius Randle's playing amazing. Brunson and I mean RJ Barrett. The thing I saw about RJ Barrett, his numbers are like identical to last season. Like almost like on the dot, like percentages, like points, rebounds, assists. Like his assists are exactly the same. And I think he's still going to find his groove, and I think he's going to step it up more. And when he does that, I think this Knicks team could be a sneaky playoff team, like 7th or 8th seed.
Well, if they're 500, that might get them there.
Exactly.
You never know. So yeah, Westbrook has been solid. Who would you like to go to next?
Who else is there to talk about
There
necessarily?
really aren't that many other huge topics going on. I mean, something to talk about is the Cameron Johnson injury for Phoenix. He's going to be out for
Yeah.
1 to 2 months.
And Chris Paul's out as well, correct?
Yes, Chris Paul is going to be out for a little bit.
Same with Kawhi.
Yeah, Kawhi. Well, I mean, look, Kawhi will just come back when he comes back.
Yeah, it's starting to make me mad.
Oh man.
And we can talk about how everyone on my fantasy team wanted to get COVID.
Well, look, I'm pretty sure it's only Rudy.
Beal was out with some sort of illness.
Beal might have been an illness as well.
But either way.
But yeah, those are really all the main topics to go over the last few days. Is there anything else you want to go over before we wrap things up?
I think one thing is we should talk about the Sixers a little bit, because I do have some interesting things that I saw when I was
Okay.
doing some research. And that is like they've had like they beat Phoenix. It was 2 days ago by 12, which was very surprising because they were coming off losses to the Knicks and Wizards.
Yeah.
And like they beat Phoenix by 12, but also Phoenix didn't have Chris Paul, didn't have Cam Johnson. And obviously the Sixers had Embiid. But the thing I noticed, because they were missing Embiid for the Wizards and Knicks game, is like they're going back to that old school Rockets offense, or
Well,
just
PJ
lineup
Tucker
in
at the
general.
5.
They started Tucker at the 5 when Embiid's been out, and I think that's going to be interesting, especially without James Harden on that team. It's going to be weird because I feel like a lot of those people are not used to playing in that type of without a big, especially playing with Joel Embiid.
Well, Embiid is now back for now, so they
Who
won't
knows
have
with
to,
Embiid,
they won't
though.
have to worry about that for a little bit. But that is something interesting to note, that they're still going with the small ball. Well, and that's also because, I mean, we don't talk about it much with the Sixers because they have Embiid, who is a top 2 center in the league. Um,
and terrible center depth.
not even just that, they are a pretty small team. Like,
Yeah,
you look at the other bigs on their roster, Paul Reed is only 6'9", Montrezl Harrell is only 6'7", if
he
that.
doesn't really play though.
Right, none of their
Like,
bigs are that tall. Like you just mentioned, they have to play PJ Tucker, who's 6'5", at the center to make things work. And, we saw how all that ended with Houston with PJ Tucker at the 5. I mean, you go up
I
against a
know,
top center. It's
I
just,
know.
you go against the team with a bunch of bigs, it's just not going to work. Like if they had to resort to that, if Embiid got injured or something, if they had to go to that against, I guess the main issues would probably be the Bucks and the Cavs.
Or even like if they play the Nuggets.
Well, yeah. Like final scenario or something.
But like it's weird because like they have this awful depth at center, but there's then like DeMarcus Cousins is just like sitting here not on
I
team.
know that makes no sense.
'Cause he's definitely like he's not obviously like King's DeMarcus Cousins, but like he's still probably a decent player.
I thought he played his role as well as he could have with the Nuggets last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like I don't know what the Sixers are doing.
I actually did see something. I'm not sure if it's real or not. I actually have to look, but I think DeMarcus Cousins actually like commented on a social media post saying that he wouldn't mind going back to the Kings.
I'd like that.
That'd be cool. He said it'd be cool to help them get back to the play. Yeah, he said it on Twitter. He would love to help Sacramento get back to the playoffs.
That's awesome, actually. I love that. I
That'd
like
be
DeMarcus
awesome.
Cousins. Like he's one of my favorite players in recent memory, just because he was so passionate when he played with the Kings. Like he wanted them to win so bad,
I know that
and it was
the
just tough.
management and everything was just so horrible.
Hmm. And
Uh,
also with the Sixers, I will say, I think Tyrese Maxey, like he didn't have the best game against Phoenix, but Tobias Harris has been stepping up
yeah, he
as team
has.
starting manager.
He
He's been
has.
playing very well, and it's been good to see because I do like Tobias Harris.
Yeah, that's that for sure. Um, One more thing that I think we probably should talk about just a little bit before we wrap things up. I mentioned in the last episode how I had no worries at all about this, and I still don't have much worries about this. But do you think we should talk a little bit about the Warriors?
I mean we can. I think here's the thing with the Warriors. I think I don't even really know. Like, it's all Draymond's fault. Should never have punched Jordan Poole.
All Draymond's fault. I mean, the thing is, it's been Curry, it's been Wiggins a little bit, and it really hasn't been anyone else.
Yeah,
Like,
Jordan Poole has not played very good. He is not living up to that contract extension.
this is crazy. Steph Curry is leading a team in rebounds. He's leading the
Talk about
Warriors.
talk
Leading the
about
Warriors
bad
in
big
rebounds.
men play.
I mean, Looney and Draymond are each averaging 6, but Curry's putting up 7 boards a game. He's averaging more rebounds than assists.
That's crazy. And I like the weirdest thing. What's going on with Wiseman? Like, because I noticed he just they're not giving him minutes or something, or he's not playing well in those minutes. In the minutes he does get, it's like it's weird.
It's a weird thing, and they're 4-7. They're lucky to have won their last game, but Curry went crazy and they came back against the Kings, and then they missed the foul call at the end.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah, there were some questionable foul things. I think what 2 against the Kings over the last week that cost them 2 games. Well,
Crazy.
not I shouldn't say cost them 2 games because they would have stayed tied in both those games, and then you never know what could have happened in overtime.
I
But
like this Kings team too.
yeah,
Well, mainly Fox.
yeah, Sacramento could, if they got calls to go their way, they could be 5-4 right now, but 3-6.
I will say they are
Just got
definitely
them to
missing
go.
that boy Tyrese Halliburton right now. He's playing fantastic as well.
Yeah, the Pacers' young guys look good, and
Turner.
and their vets. Miles Turner had a crazy game.
Your name, brother.
That's right.
spelled differently, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's basically it. Is there anything else that you want to go over?
I mean, I'll say one more thing about the Warriors.
All
I
right.
saw this thing on Twitter and it made me really mad, but now it's looking like it could happen. But it said they're tanking for Wembanyama. I'm like, man, please no. Like
That'd be something else.
the league would be over.
W-
Like,
Yes.
like just put their rings on their finger for the next year. Like,
Oh, that is hilarious. I mean, really, all these bottom teams that right now that shouldn't be at the bottom, like Miami,
okay,
um,
as long as the
Miami,
Rockets are
the
still on there.
Lakers, the Warriors. It's like, yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
like,
matter where the Lakers are, because honestly, imagine that Wembanyama and Zion.
yeah, I'd go right to the Pels, right?
That's crazy.
It is
That would
crazy.
make would that make the Anthony Davis trade like look even worse? Because I don't think it's bad for the Lakers necessarily because they did win the chip, but also it's not the best trade because
Yeah,
it's screwed up
yeah.
their future.
It's one of those things where we'll have to play the rest of the cards out to see what happens.
Yeah,
It just depends on what those draft picks turn into, really.
yeah. If it turns into Victor, then well, not looking good for LA.
But it's also a championship. The championship is worth it. But this is also the Los Angeles Lakers we're talking about. They like fans are mad on a daily basis that their team is not that good right
And
now.
here's the thing, another thing, going back to Westbrook, I know this was a little bit ago, but like the thing that's helping him, I think, excel is that he's not getting like criticized by the media anymore. Because
Oh, he's coming off the bench.
they were killing him, and now they're like it's just I don't know. I feel like it's hard for him to play when he's like constantly just getting crushed by the media, even though he shouldn't really be getting crushed by the media.
Yeah, because all these guys are humans, like it's human nature with emotions. Like,
Ben Simmons, he's a garbage can.
well, Ben Simmons is just over his head about everything. They're trying the off the bench thing with him right now.
I
And
mean, like he just doesn't shoot the ball. Like he's
yeah,
shooting 43% as a 6'10" point guard.
who doesn't take jump shots?
His free throw percentage is only 3% better than his field goal percentage.
Yeah,
It's kind of
I
like
mean that's just another thing with the Nets that we didn't really get to.
he was with Markelle Fultz for too long.
Markelle Fultz, man,
Has he even played this year? Like, have they even given him minutes?
for the Magic,
No, he
I
hasn't.
think he might be injured again. Yeah, toe fracture. He's been out since late September.
Jonathan Isaac still exists.
John
Barely.
Isaac still exists. They have the Magic have a ton of injuries.
It's just, and the thing is, why, like, okay, I like Jonathan Isaac, but like, people gotta like just stop saying he's gonna like come back and be this great player. Like, when? When are we gonna see
play
Jonathan?
first. He's just got to play first.
Like, like, I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I'll be hyping him up when he actually plays basketball again.
Yeah.
Because like, obviously, he was really, really good on defense, but like, where's he been? Like,
Just been
he's
injured.
ACL injury.
Mhm.
Sucks.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what didn't suck, I hope, was this episode because this was fun. We got some good news topics going on, lots of crazy things going on with just the Jazz itself. It being crazy. Russell Westbrook off the bench, the Nets, everything going on with the Nets, injuries. I mean, just tons of stuff going on around the league.
Yeah,
But leave a
crazy.
comment if you enjoyed the episode and what you're thinking about the season so far. Goglin on the Twitter page, you're going to be posting more shorts over there, do you think?
Yeah. Gotta finish a different story first, and then we'll be back on that grind.
Cool. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, comment as well with your thoughts. Well, from episode 12, I'm Miles.
I'm Goggles.
and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.